Residents in Louisiana and Mississippi continue to assess the massive damage from Hurricane Ida. More than 1 million customers are left without power, a potentially life-threatening problem as intense heat moves into that region.
And the threat of additional dangers are looming for tens of millions of Americans now under a flash flood threat. Daryl Forges has the latest from Louisiana.
For millions along the Gulf Coast, Ida's impact has been devastating.
This storm was every bit as advertised, and the damage that we have seen here and that they're dealing with is just catastrophic.
Heavy rain in Mississippi washed away part of Highway 26, a main artery between Mississippi and Louisiana. At least 2 people were killed, 10 others hurt in the washout, according to the Mississippi Highway Patrol. And with many roads impassable or blocked by debris, the full extent of damage is yet to be seen. Louisiana's governor telling those who have evacuated not to return home yet.
The schools are not open, the businesses are not open, the hospitals are slammed. There's not water in your home, and there's not going to be electricity.
From widespread damage to another danger. In southern Louisiana and Mississippi, millions of power outages and the excessive heat. Officials say electricity may not be restored to some areas for a month. Temperatures expected to reach 100 degrees or more.
They got to get us some help. Even if we didn't choose to leave, you know what I'm saying? Come on now, we need some type of help. There's no electricity.
And as Ida moves north, tens of millions of Americans are under a flash flood threat, including parts of Tennessee, where residents are preparing for more rain after flooding last weekend.
God, not again. Just trying to salvage what we can of our lives.
I'm Daryl Forges reporting.
Members of Indiana Task Force 1 are now in Louisiana ready to help in Hurricane Ida rescue efforts.
News 8's Camila Fernandez joins us now with the group's status. Camila.
Indiana Task Force 1 is ready to conduct searches and help those who are in need. Just recently, they were assigned the far southeastern portion of the state with Missouri, Colorado, and Ohio task forces. On Friday, 45 members of Indiana Task Force 1 packed their bags and left for Louisiana to help with search and recovery efforts. Right now, they're staged to do searches in those areas and, if necessary, rescue those who remain sheltered in place. According to Task Force 1 Chief Tom Neal, some of the biggest challenges are downed power lines, tree limbs, and flooding. The group says they've been staged all day awaiting their next assignment.
Hasty or secondary searches in those areas, whether it's by vehicle, conducting windshield surveys, or by boat. If necessary, we do have John boats and inflatable rescue boats to be able to deploy into the water to help assess and, if necessary, rescue those that sheltered in place that now need a place to go.
The Indiana Task Force 1 says now that the storm surge has begun to recede, they are looking to conduct secondary searches and help rescue. The group says lately there's been more cell phone connections, so more people are able to send for help. Neal says there are more than 200 personnel plus some federal law enforcement in that lower portion below New Orleans. Camila Fernandez, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.